Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. Jamal, married to my name. Coming to you live from the city of Manchester. Tonight we're going to be having a special edition of Liberia. This for today is Flag Day. Flag Day, a national day that we celebrate unity, diversity, and symbol of Liberian flag that was uh, inaugurated on 18th of February in Nigeria. So tonight with me tonight is my colleague called Lord okay, to be discussing other issues in Nigeria that affect the unity. So you take a couple of minutes a break, some minutes a break, come back and
The audio breaking out, Jamal. Check it quick
all right, yeah.
before you. That's better.
Right. So, once again, sorry, so I has technical problem. I'm okay. I'm audible enough. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. Once again, we say thank you for joining us wherever you joining us. Jamal is my name. Want to be bringing you today is a special edition of the Boy in Liberia. Today is Flag Day in Liberia, which is a national day holiday in Liberia, called in the UK the bank holiday. Today, as we are celebrating the national flag that was inaugurated in 1847. The day is set as a symbol to celebrate unity, diversity, as well as the progress of Liberia. So the many issues in Liberia will be discussing that connect or signify unity. Tonight to discuss that will be my colleague with me tonight, the Law Paul Play, based in UK London as well. I guess my other colleagues will be joining me later on this platform. But now I'll welcome Paul from there to take you through a musical break and come back and get to the menu of the show. Paul, welcome this evening. Happy
Thank you, Jamal.
happy
And
Flag Day. Tell me a little bit of Flag Day before I take a break. What is it like Flag Day in Liberia for you? Today is a National Flag Day. And you are
oh,
national. You were at Thomas High School before. Graduate
yes,
of
I
Thomas
was.
High,
I
the most
was.
popular high school. Mhm.
Yeah. Good evening and happy flag days, you may say. I remember back in the days it used to rain and we used to dread during the flag days. And Tonmaha used to be the leading school. So I know we're fully involved at that day. It's a day that we all look forward to, and then you interact with other students from other parts of Morovia, particularly in the Morovia area. So that is the day that all schools came together and you met your friends, you all had a laugh, you all had some king juice before getting in the ring to drill. So all those all the good old days, yeah. So
Right.
Flair, they have always been something good that we all look forward to celebrating. And remember, the school system we had at it, our school system was quite different at the time because we were doing from March to December. So we're during the rainy season, it was steady time for us. During the dry season, that's when we went on, how we call it, a summer break. And those days, people could go on a farm to help their parents, their grandparents to brush. And in Morovia area, people could have vacation job. So, and during that dry season period, we had a lot of activities that we could go to. So, yeah, man, it was always.
Paul, yes, I know. I just want to ask you. You carry me bringing me some memories, good old memories. What I want you to do for me, Paul, is I want you to take you back to if you got some pages of the Flag Day in Liberia those days, years back. That was pre-war Liberia. Flag Day was looking like as a student those days. What you expecting? What are your good memories? We'll go back there, but let's give you a couple of minutes of music for Liberia. We want to celebrate Liberian musical artists, people that are performing, bringing Liberia on the map on the other side. Music they're playing. Liberians are doing very good in music. Give you a couple of minutes of that, 5-10 minutes. Then we'll come back. We'll take you through tonight. Tonight is a special day. It's a day to celebrate Liberian National Flag Day. We're doing it on the borderline way. We look at some memories of the national flag in Liberia. How does it look like a student? Basically, it was about drilling and flag. All every high schools go to a specific unit. Area to drill where you give a special eye right. They said Paul. Paul
Yeah.
was a student of the most popular Tubman High School in Monrovia. He'll be telling us his experience as well. And others, if you are just joining us, if wherever you are, if you join us later on this program, share your thought with us. We'll also give you a chance to give a call. If it's not, you can drop your comment in our comment section. But I'll take you through a musical break and come back. We'll take you through it. Don't forget tonight also we'll talk about the breaking down, the demolition of the breaking down of the CDC, the mighty CDC headquarters. What is this signify? Is the unity or a spiritual hunt or is just for revenge, spiritual revenge? So we'll be talking through that and other issues that Michaela on the international scene. join us. My name is Jamal, and we will come with this with tonight. Until then, enjoy from the music from our own Mama Liberia. Liberia. This is from our own Liberia music. There you go.
That a bass, had a bass, had a bass.
I see me, they say she punch all the time. Yeah. Waiting the lazy, but baby, you know me see the bar. Only money and I'm taking care. I pay my prayer, baby, I say thank you for the care. Look in the mirror, and I tell myself, you need you the best, baby, please don't stress yourself. Man, they want me, oh, give me my money. You call the people need to quit to start acting funny, oh. All I need, oh, they can win it. I'm about to let me see your teeth, cause we win, oh. Oh, my nini, oh, cherry my honey. As if I was stop, my medulla on the money. Like your dreams, oh, we just chasing. And I wanna love and bring money, my lunch you for me. Oh, my nini, oh, my nini. Oh, nobody's ex, but somebody future with me. Oh, my nini, oh, my nini. When I get no money, then you come and say you want me. Brown skin, brown eyes, all in my prime. I'm too healthy, but oh, nini, oh, nini. Oh, baby, call me, reach me. One day like all day. We going hard, oh yeah, we hustling for Sunday. Oh, we working like the say, but oh, God, Johnny say. We more not run away, but when I'm money here, we might eat it and look away. Man, you want me, oh, give me my money. You call the people not to quit to start acting funny, oh. All I need, oh, they can win it. I'm about to let me see your teeth, cause we win it, oh. Oh, my nini, oh, give me my money. As if I was stuck, I'm a fool on the money. Like your dreams, oh, we should see. And I wanna love you, bring money, my life you for me. Oh, my nini, oh, my nini. Oh, nobody's ex, but somebody's future wife. Oh, my nini, oh, my nini. You not get no money, then you come and say you want me.
They can't pay me for my waka. The whole country now scatter. Everybody on yama. Men for rest, higher. Children school fees, higher. Criminal rate, higher. Road security, fire. Everybody on fire. You go so, like everybody. You come so, like everybody. Everybody just something, everybody. For my business. the thing change. The thing will change. What I'm saying will change. I'm gonna want to change. I'm gonna want to change. Liberia people probably they can't finish. Every day they probably change increasing. We take pay and go in kitchen. Oh Lord. Liberia people probably they can't finish. Every day they probably change increasing. We take pay and go in kitchen. Oh Lord. I go to my uncle place. He telling me, you know, he say, oh. I go to my auntie place. She telling me, you know, he say, oh. That my uncle ain't complaining. That who I will complain to. When my uncle ain't complaining. Liberia people probably they can't finish. Everything that probably tell you crazy. We can't pay, can't go in the kitchen. Oh Lord, Liberia people probably they can't finish. Everything that probably tell you crazy. We can't pay, can't go in the kitchen. Oh Lord, if you want beer, they will get you beer. If you want weed, they will get you weed. If you want opportunity, they will never give you opportunity. They won't see you down, they never want you up. They won't see you crying, they never want you up. Every day and night, me not thinking. When I thinking, me and my baby, they want me.
Hey Allah, no good job, no good school, no facility. Purpose where they are to support. Local little purpose is turning to so people is dying day and night. Hey Allah, now what do you want for us to do is a deep country?
Orange meaning orange, theta, no start meaning no start theta.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us.
This is Bottom Line Liberia. You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
Yes, indeed. You are welcome to the Bottle and Liberia tonight in UK. It's nighttime with us, with the time as 33 minutes past 8 p.m. in the UK. My name is Jamal Kamara, based in Manchester. And with me tonight is my colleague, good friend, Paul Delord Chulaple. Paul is with me tonight. We're going to be taking you through what is National Flag Day in Liberia. And we'll be also looking at other issues that make headlines in Liberia over the week. I mean, we discussed yesterday, we're back here on Friday, we're here talking about issues that make headlines in Liberia. But tonight is a national day. It's a flag day in Liberia. It's a special event. So I could make a special edition for the Bottom Liberia. We'll be taking you through. I'll talk to my colleague Paul on the other end. I'll welcome him again. We were in a couple of minutes back. I would ask Paul again, tell me, how does it look like for Liberia? What's that Liberia National Flag Day for you like? And previously, Paul and myself talk about he's a graduate of the Tubman High School. I mean, anybody who live in Liberia during this pre-Civil War, you will know what Tubman High School was. And Paul is one of the graduates from that high school. He will tell us what they were like, what was like for him when he was at the school, when we said Liberia National Flag Day. So until then, once welcome you to the Borderline game today, the 24th of August. 2025, the Borderline edition, the special edition. Paul, welcome to the Borderline again. I know you are sitting right there, pretty good in London, the seat of King James. And I want you to welcome our colleagues at joining us from wherever they're joining us from.
Well, good evening, and I want to say happy Flag Day to you and to our viewers, especially those Liberians that know about Flag Day. Happy Flag Day. Today is our National Flag Day. So yes, so Jamal, is good to be back here. I want to say I'm so thankful to the Almighty to be among the living. It's good to be in paradise. So how is Manchester?
Yeah, go on. Sorry, but go on.
Yeah, how is Manchester?
Well, pretty good. We are good here. I'm just happy to be here tonight. We'll be discussing our National Day, which is a flag day. You know, we normally do these. We don't come on Tuesdays and Fridays on the Borderline, but when it has to do with the special day in Liberia, we want to talk about what is the significance of this day. In a short while, we'll be playing a video, and it's not our video, but we're playing what is the national flag like in Liberia, why we celebrate the national flag day in Liberia, and we'll connect this with the issues in Liberia that has to do with, you know, it's not only the common flag, it's not about the piece of cloth, it was basically about unity. It's about identity. It's about celebrating your unity, identity, and celebrating diversity in Liberia. That's all about the flag. People wonder why 1847, this day was inaugurated as a National Flag Day. We'll talk about. We don't want to go deep into that. We got a video. We'll play that later on. But I would ask my colleague Paul to tell me again, Paul, what is a National Flag Day for you, and how did you celebrate it when you were in Liberia at the time? I know you're in the UK right now. Take me back to those days, good old days.
Well, thank you, Jamal. I mean, the thing is with the national flag of Liberia is something that we grew up to. I'll give you the example before I take you back to what we used to do as kids. The flag, you know, every government ministry or government agency or government, they have a flag on the roof. So back then, by 8 o'clock in the morning, that's when offices open and it closed by 4
Okay.
back in the days. So before offices open, they will put the flag up. So when that flag is going up, taxi, private car, pedestrian walking on the street, everyone have to stop to pay respect to the flag
It's a
going
pay
up.
allegiance to the flag. Yeah.
Yes, pay
Mhm.
allegiance to the flag. And by 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock after working hour, when the flag is coming down,
Mhm.
wherever you are, you have to stop to pay allegiance to that flag.
Wow.
So that's it was something, I mean, just taboo. So in school, in the morning before you host the flag, you have to pay allegiance to the flag.
Like you still do you still remember the wordings I used to say those days?
Oh my man, I think I still remember. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the Republic of Liberia to which so all the things they
So
will.
which it stands for? Okay,
Yeah,
I think I give you credit for that. You said something. Yeah, Paul still remember that was something 40 years ago. Mm.
yeah. So just tell you so, and then August 24th, when that time is coming, all the schools in the Morovia area, whether government school, private school, they all get involved. They
Yeah.
on that day that it used to rain for some reason on that particular day, it will rain. So Jema, I tell you, and Tonma High School, where I came from, used to be the leading school because it was the leading government school. So they have to lead the school. Then after Tonma High was CWA, right behind Tonma
In
High.
what sense? Is it a matter of sorry, Paul? I just want to take me through here. Is it like the drilling or the because what Liberians on I mean understand Flag Day in Liberia to be we have schools to celebrate this day, they carry the flags, everybody gave a salute, the R right to call it, in a specific location. I
Yeah.
think the best drill school they were used to get prize and used to do it like in Monrovia used to be done at the national at the army barrack, the BTC, the
Did,
Barclay Training Center, where you should do. Other counties will have their specific location to carry this celebration or commemoration.
yeah.
What makes well, I think BWI was one of the best schools as well. What was it? Did you used to do in Kakata? Or used to come Monrovia to do this?
No, so in Kakata, they have Bideri are leading the charge in Kakata, in Magebe
Mm,
County. So in Morovia Consolidation School System, Tonmaha was the head, and Tonmaha was the
okay.
leading government school, and CWA was the first private school. So CWA came after Tonmaha in that range when we grading the parade. So they have that thing. Then after CWA, it came Central High. Central High was the second school after Todmore High in terms of then the rest follow. So they had it in sequence. See,
Right.
so it was quite amazing that that's when all kids around the Morovia area, whether you go to private schools or government school, we all interacted on that particular day. And I'll post some old photos up here just to take you back
Okay. All
to
right.
those days. For
Now, before you
example,
do that,
yeah,
yeah, Paul. After that, we'll play the video, and those who don't understand probably will not. What if the whole the significance of the national flag? They will play a video. It's not from us, but we got it from somewhere YouTube. Probably you've watched the video before. We'll play it. That Paul share some photos with us for the days of what it's like for him. National Flag Day in Liberia, the August 24th, which was inaugurated in 1847 as a
yeah.
national holiday in Liberia. Paul, let's see what you have.
This one here,
Hmm.
let me see if I can put this one up. This is let me see. If you remember this guy, he was Minister of Education called Otello Gonga. This,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's Otello Gonga. This was Tonmaha, Otello Gonga, and this guy, my friend
Wow.
over there, the late Henry Moore, who was now taking Otello
No,
Gonga to
Paul,
be the,
no, Paul, listen. Paul, take
yeah.
us through. Who is here, where you guys are, and let's tell
So,
then our
so
audience follow where you are. Where we are at the
this,
moment, who is with you, who is the student standing, what is he doing right now? What the minister is
right.
doing right now. Just take us through.
So
Mhm.
this is the Barclay Training Center, what we call the BTC, and this
Right.
this is the Army barracks. So where students
Okay.
from all part of Morovia participate in the National Flag Day Parade. And this guy
Mhm.
in the costume here with the red tie is former Minister of Education, Mr. Otello Gonga. And with him, the guy who leading the charge in the Maroon and white with the white cap is Colonel Henry Moore. He came from Tottenham High. He was the now commanding general of that day. So he was
Wow.
taking
Yeah,
Otelo Gonga around to do the inspection.
how do you call that? What's that? Marital guard tour or something like that? You were taking it around to see,
Yeah,
to
so
inspect, inspection.
it's see, like the how they call it armed forces day when the military gather, the president will inspect the troops. So similar style, the minister of education will be the one to inspect the student, the guards. So this is Henry Moore taking him around. So this is what I need to put something out here. Maybe this one will be more. And
Okay.
yeah, so you can see that as the minister approached, the flag will come down as respect. So
Wow.
what? Yeah, those were the days in.
Paul, just sort of break. I would just be asking you while we're going through that. You see, is that an E division of the? You said
Of,
A, B, C, D. Tell us what I saw. Letter E
so
right now.
so it's in the military. You get brigade one, brigade two. So this one they did it by alphabet. So this is the E brigade. That so they have their own group. So every stage. So this was Tonmaha. Then after Tonmaha came CWA. So that's how it went in that order. You see, and they all. So if you that's I just want this to just bring the memory back of now.
Oh,
Look at
okay.
that. If you look in the
I
middle
mean,
here,
what year was this, Paul? Can you tell
this
me?
is
Tell me about what year was it?
1987. If you look here, the guy standing in the middle here is the Lord Cholope himself.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now
that's me.
you were you leading one of the battalion or the division?
Absolutely. I was leading one of the division. That's me.
Wow. That's a very good memory here, Paul. So what was your rank at the time in the military? Your rank at the high school military, what was your rank, Paul?
Listen, I was one of the majors, so that led my own group. So that's how it was. And the guy who here, he's the Colonel Henry Moore. He was the boss of us.
Wow. So, Paul, you see, one good thing you're telling me, taking me through right now is about what's like in Liberia for the National Flag Day. I mean, bringing back good memories. And I grew up somewhere when I came from Nimba. I came to what was the place I came to? Banga. We used to do ours as well, where we assemble and go to the football stadium, Banga football stadium, where you used to have the right and stuff like that. It used to be a very good event. And those days was the days that you really, really like, and you feel good to be a student those days. And the climatic moment, the climax, or the climax point, Paul, is you have to where you have students going out. The people, the high top government officials for the Ministry of Education will be sitting, and I'll be standing waiting for you where you go give your eye rights. And this is where after inspecting the minister the Minister of Education or someone from the Ministry of Education will come and inspect the troop. After inspection of the troop, then you have to move around. Then the good thing about the drum that will be beaten. I mean, those students were like the beating the eyes. That was another fantastic one. You see the students marching. Everyone had a drumming group. And another group. One thing I did not see in Liberia were coming late, Paul, was the major group. That was coming on lately. Tell me a little bit about the major group.
No, we had a major group during the institution gala day, the funding day of the institution. That's when the institution itself, when it out there, then you have the major group that would come to put. But on the flag day itself, it was not part of the flag. It was just purely because if you brought that in, there'll be no space for other schools. So it was just purely on that day that we all celebrated the wonderful flag day. I mean, it was amazing. And you read it. So after the inspection, then you gave the R right to. And the thing with the flag day, it was the military band that led the group. Then at some point you had a police band on the other side.
Yeah,
so
the
it
band,
was like so it was kind of good, man. And people were looking forward to that. I mean, those days when we would be on TV. Not like today now, people don't have proper TV to see what. So our mothers were home, they could see us drilling and one would
Yeah.
So it
ELTV
was
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was live. It
it
was live
was
on
live.
ERTV. It was live
Yeah.
on ERTV. And Paul, the good thing about now today, I don't know how it looks like. But I know we don't have any live event going on in Liberia right now. Where today's August 24th, which will be beaming it live on the screen. But I don't think, unfortunately, we can't give you like the live events maybe going on in Monrovia, and that should have happened earlier today in the day where you have these drilling around Monrovia
Yeah. I
every
think the
high school.
celebration is tomorrow because today is Sunday. So tomorrow will be the main national holiday for that.
Okay, right. So since today is Sunday, and tomorrow maybe it will be a national holiday in Liberia, and where we have there's just a possibility we may also be coming to you live with the event from Liberia. We're not going to give you a promise, but we'll do our best to see, because this day is not only about the piece of cloth. It's about the significance of this national day. It's all about unity in our country. It's about I mean, it's about we need to celebrate our unity and how far we've gone as Liberians. I know someone asked me, Jamal, what have we done since 1847 up to now? The question is, well, it's every one of us question. It's a $24 million question for every one of us. What have we done for Liberia ourselves to get the country where it is today? And we just specifically, we don't want to go too political. We want to look into the day, the good memories of the national flag, what it brings to you as a student, or if you're not a student, what do you see when these very high schools were assembled and people gather all over the place, all walks of life to see the day looking like in Liberia. So we still want to go around to let you know we don't go away. We'll bring you some other news in Liberia. I'll go to Paul. Before I go to Paul, Paul will bring out to the international desk. From there, we'll bring you back how was it look like for the significant flag day in Liberia. We'll play a short video and we'll take you through about the demolition, that is the breaking down of the CDC, that's the coalition of the Boakai Congress, the party of the former President George Weah, headquarters broke down. How do you see it? What was the President Joseph Boakai reaction, and what did the former president said about it? I'll say it about it. Sorry. What did the former president say about the breaking down? His reaction, he broke silence. Former President George Weah. So, Paul, I'll give you a chance to take us to what you got on the international scene tonight. So we'll go through to what is happening in Liberia and what is the significance of the national flag day.
Right. So on the international scene, I think we'll just focus our attention on Ukraine, because we know the people in the Middle East, the Arab and the American, want those people in Gaza for them to die every day. Today, men allege that the Israeli have used some chemical weapon, but it hasn't been confirmed because there's no independent news have gone in. So in Gaza City, that's the thing that is training. If that is true, with these people do something, that's the big question. So on the other side, there will be no peace in Ukraine. And why am I saying so? Because while since Trump came out with the thing that Zelensky and Putin needed to meet the talk, now we had a group they call the coalition of the waiting, that now they don't want this war to end. They have told Zelensky. So we got a few clips here on something that a question was put to Trump just yesterday about the situation, and he's getting frustrated. And also you hear from the Russian foreign minister and Zelensky on this too, that I don't think there will be any end to that war until Russia decide when it will end. So let's listen to this. It's just, yeah, go on. You want me to bring
Yeah,
this
no,
out?
quickly. Yeah, why are you trying to bring it out? Just question is like people wonder why we discussing these war and it's happening. It has an impact on every one of us. So wherever you are in the world, the superpowers are fighting. You always going to have that ripple effect. So this is what important that we discuss here. I think you'll say, we are way in that part of this land. We got nothing to do with the Ukraine and Russian war. But do you remember, it will check it will affect your food supply, it will check your electricity supply, it will check your financial supply, everything will be affected. When one part is affected, the whole part of the world will be affected. It's just like when Ebola hit Liberia, everybody was concerned because they want to have it stop, or else you'll have spread all over. So that's the worry behind. This is why we discuss international news. It has some impact on us as people as well, wherever you are in the world. Paul, go on, roll the video.
So I'll roll
Come to the table for a ceasefire.
I'll see whose fault it is. If there are reasons why, I'll understand that. I know exactly what I'm doing.
The U.S. president promises to get to the bottom of why the meeting between Putin and Zelensky hasn't taken place. Russia's top diplomat reveals what's behind the problem.
President Putin said clearly that he is ready to meet. There are several principles which Washington believes must be accepted. And Zelensky said no to everything. How can we meet with a person who is pretending to be a leader?
2 weeks. That's how long Donald Trump says it should take Russia and Ukraine to decide on how to resolve the Ukraine conflict. Meanwhile, the U.S. president has favored a thaw in relations and even displayed a photo from Alaska that the Russian president signed off on. But the American leader added that if the two sides refuse to make a deal, he'll take a closer look at who's at fault and take steps from there. Have a listen.
Next couple of weeks. But I thought it was a nice picture.
Mr. President, how long will you give Putin?
A couple of weeks. We're going to figure it out. We'll find it.
Do you think you'll have to intervene at some point?
Look, it takes two to tango. You understand that. I wanted to have a meeting with those two. I could have been at the meeting, but a lot of people think that nothing's going to come out of that meeting. You have to be there. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But we're going to see.
What are the 2 ways you can go at the end of 2 weeks then?
Well, then I'm going to make a decision as to what we do. And it's going to be a very important decision. And that's whether or not it's massive sanctions or massive tariffs.
If Putin doesn't come to the table for a ceasefire,
I'll see whose fault it is. If there are reasons why, I'll understand that. I know exactly what I'm doing. We're going to see whether or not they have a meeting. That'll be interesting to see. And if they don't, why didn't they have a meeting? Because I told them to have a meeting. But I'll know in 2 weeks what I'm going to do. I have pretty good ideas.
Meanwhile, the Russian foreign minister has slammed Zelensky for holding up progress toward a peace deal. Sergei Lavrov says Vladimir Putin is ready to meet with the Ukrainian leader, but only when Kiev is ready to discuss substantive steps.
President Putin said clearly that he is ready to meet, provided this meeting is really going to have an agenda, presidential agenda. When President Trump brought those issues to the meeting in Washington, with Zelensky present together with his European sponsors, he clearly indicated, it was very clear to everybody that there are several principles which Washington believes must be accepted, including no NATO membership, including the discussion of territorial issues. And Zelensky said no to everything. He even said no to, as I said, to canceling legislation prohibiting the Russian language. How can we meet with a person who is pretending to be a leader?
But it appears Zelensky's current course is to accuse Russia of preventing a meeting between himself and Putin to end the war.
We talked about the formats of the meeting with Russia, with the Russian officials, bilateral and trilateral formats. It is at the leadership level that the issue must be resolved in order to end the war. But we can see now that the Russians are doing everything to avoid the meeting. Ukraine, unlike Russia, is not afraid of any meetings with leaders. We are ready to work productively, as much as possible. We hope that our partners will help ensure at least a minimal productive position with the Russian side.
Wow.
So, if you follow that, it's just a clear-cut indication that the war not going to end. Because if you listen to the foreign minister of Russia, where he lay out, it just tells you so that the Russian language will be installed. And those are things that Zelensky will not pick easily. How that possible? So with all of those things, so Trump now will have a very big fight on his hands. How he gonna get those two? It's not, and then you have the coalition of the waiting, which telling Zelensky to not give all your land. They want to put boots on the ground, but then Russia say, well, they're talking about European security, and Russia are saying we cannot be excluded when it comes to security in Europe. We have to be part of it. So this is where we are. The war not going to end. Ukrainians still going to pay the price. What say you, Jamal?
Yeah, quite. Paul, it's quite interesting that this war is dragging on, and they are not honest to themselves. I think the thing is, what they are doing right now should have been done some couple of months back. These negotiations be on the table and be having these meetings. It's going to be a dead end. The fact of the matter is, the coalition are waiting to call them the sponsor of Ukraine sponsors, and they need to, be clear with this. If they want the war to stop, I think they need to meet. And there may be some in any situation, there must be some compromise made, or there must be some compromises made. So the government of the European countries sponsor those that are back Zelensky and should be able to sit with the people in Europe. The people in Russia to discuss. We see Paul. The whole thing started from this. If you noticed, when this guy came to power, when Trump came to power, he had a meeting with Putin without consultation of the Europeans. Now it's falling back on the laps of the European, where he had a meeting said U.S. was funding 60% of this fund supporting this war. Ukraine to stay on their feet. And if U.S. will withdraw all support to Ukraine, definitely Ukraine will succumb. This is what I can see happening, because this guy promised that he's going to end this war. It's now he's getting frustrated, but he also should understand that the Ukraine have a national sovereignty. They will not give him that easily. So except his sponsors, the Ukrainian sponsors like USA and Europe, will withdraw put some straight rule. If you don't succumb, we're going to withdraw our support. Then you see they will allow what Putin wants. But that depends on the level of the strength or the position Putin has gained so far in this war, because they are retaking those various districts or various areas, territories that were trying to claim. Now they can, they have something to bargain on. Until then, the Europeans are not giving in, because they're going to cover their faces if the thing like they're going to give it easier to Putin. They've already they've put a sanction on Putin. They got Putin out of more European activities in Europe, like the football tournament, the athletic game. Many things that are happening in Europe that Russia are taking part, they've been removed. So, and they feel to be like they've been isolated. So allowing them back in and without giving in something to Ukraine, it's going to be a slap on the face of Europe. So definitely, it's a difficult fight, Paul. It's a very difficult fight.
It is a difficult fight, and that's what I'm saying. It's not ending just now, because they waited until the Europeans waiting to sit with Putin, which they're not waiting to do. And this is what makes it more complicated. They just want, we have opportunity here that maybe when we keep supporting Ukraine, they will do something. But then what happened? The Ukrainians paying the price.
Exactly.
The people paying the price. And these guys, they're using Ukraine too. The Russians using Ukraine. They're developing new weapons. And at some point, it will just start, they have to test it. So it's just to show you it's not going to end anytime soon. Because if you gain territory and somebody is mocking about, the guy said, in fact, before we talk, agreed that Russian language will be restored.
Yeah.
So we don't want to hear Ukraine. That is a serious condition.
That's a hard condition to follow. Yeah, very hard.
So if you can't restore Russian language, we're not talking to you.
No.
So this is where we are now. It becomes more complicated, and the West knows that power pass power here.
Yeah.
So what do? It's a superpower. It's not somebody that you can just walk on. So you got to think twice. How you engage them, and this is the situation they face with. So the coalition of the waiting focus more on Putin, but the coalition of the waiting, if they could encourage Trump to stop the nonsense in Gaza, they will have a peace.
Yeah, Paul, you see, this is a challenge. When they took up a year or two ago, when the Europeans took over this fight, they knew they're going to face these challenges. They knew they're going to face challenges because Russia's not giving easily, and it's a fight Europe against Russia. This is what it is like. Yeah. And now it's to turn around again and say, look, you know what, we're going to give in to Russia. It's not going to be that easy. They've too many sanctions. If you across Europe, more especially in the UK here, Too many Russians were here, billionaires were being sent out of this place. You know the story of the former Chelsea owner, Abramovich, who was forced to sell Chelsea because he's a Russian, and if the Europeans thought that money was funneled or channeled to this guy from Putin, he was a good friend of Putin, to him. So he was the owner of Chelsea. They turned their arms, he was arm twisted to sell Chelsea, and they forced him out of UK. I think he should be in Israel or somewhere in the Middle East. So this guy was full out of. So many Russian billionaires that were contributing to the economy of Europe, they were forced out of Europe, mainland Europe, to go back to Russia or resettle in other countries. It's because they were supporting Zelensky. A lot of things factors, Paul. A lot of things have happened so far. So it's not an easy fight, and there must be an end to this. But the old guys like the Prime Minister of Russia said, the sponsors, the Zelensky sponsors, and Putin need to get to their senses and see and figure out the political retribution and say, look, there are too many destructions, lives and property. We need to put end to this madness and come for some agreement. The conditions the Russians are putting forward right now, it's a difficult one, Paul. This is a fight. You live in Ukraine. You were in Russia. You know Russia. You know Ukraine. We're there to study. You know the people are like the national identity. It's about our culture, and you're taking them. You say you want to bring the Russian culture now. So of course the Ukrainians are studying. My son was studying Ukraine. He was in Kiev until the war came. He left. Now he's France, and he was studying in Ukrainian language. In fact, they call it Russian language. And it's not a much difference between Ukrainian language and the Russian language. It's almost the dialect. The different tune, that's it. And every study in Ukraine is all Russian. So they feel that Ukraine is annexed to Russia. So this is it's a cultural fight, it's a sovereignty fight, it's a fight to we all need to, it's not us. If you are a believer, you need to put to your God and say, look, God, help us end this war. It's going to drag on for years.
And you see, you read, the condition is set, that means restore Russian language back, because it was a spoken language before it changed to Ukraine. So now the Russian speaking people there, here the funny thing, because they have taken huge portion of that land that owned by the Russian speaking
population.
People. Yeah. So what happened now? They gave you the condition: if you can't restore Russian language, then these people cannot be part of you, and that's the land. So they lay out a condition that Ukraine will not accept, and the West will not accept it. So it's a halfway. You like it or not, unless they say, okay, let's come to a dialogue. Let's see the people in Ukraine, let them have a referendum. What are that Russian-speaking group want to go? Yeah. So you have to talk. You can't say, oh, let's keep sponsoring them, and it will be hard. The moment they started gaining territory, I mean, you're not going to take them from there. That's where, and as long as it drags on, they will keep taking more land, and they so taking that more land, it make it more difficult. Then in the end, they will put their own puppet in place, and this is what, and this so-called coalition of the waiting, they don't want to fight, but they want to support the other guys. They will keep army. So yes, Trump now play money. All of them say, okay, we don't want to be part of this, but you buy the weapon off from us, and you do what you want to do with it, because we don't want to put money in. So you bring the money. Remember, the arm, they had to call it the Western group that built arms in America. They happy because that's good news for them. Buy the weapon from us. We keep providing you. Whatever you do, it's not our business, but you go and kill yourself. As long as we're making money, they call it the ministerial complex or something, arms, something complex that control the whole of America, the arms group. So it's in their interest. So Trump now saying, yeah, the pro will not be part of the war, but will sell arms. So the West will buy, European will buy the arms from us and give it to Ukraine. But Ukraine too, the president not being logical anything, but we on the front line. Unless the coalition of the waiting to come in and bring force to help them. Now it will be a threat, but they're not waiting to put boots on the ground. You see?
It is. It is going to be hard. It's a hard case for us.
North Korea will partner with Russia. North Korea decided to send 10,000 troops. So why the coalition of the waiting can't send their own people? I mean, so and you don't want to send somebody, and then you want the war to continue. So that's where it is, man. So that's
playing a bit much more a lip service and also putting money in. They just putting money in send weapons, and the people of Ukraine are not that much trained. You need to send also specialists to train these people to use these weapons. If you give these sophisticated weapons to Ukraine, you need to follow up. So they only got few guys, or they got the mercenaries trained to go and use train these Ukrainians to use a weapon at the war front. Training somebody at the war front to make use of the weapon that's those sophisticated weapon. It's already a death trap. If you just join you on YouTube, Facebook, Jala TV, say welcome to the Borderland Liberia. This is a special edition, Friday, the Flag Day in Liberia. Today we bring you some good memories of what's happening in Liberia as a Flag Day. Paul early on told us about how Flag Day was like for him in Liberia when he was at Tubman High School. We saw some of his old pictures. And you tell us what Flag Day was like for you when in Liberia to do it. If you're in Liberia, please share your talk with us. Welcome on the Borderland Liberia. We'll take a quick break and bring you what is like Flag Day in Liberia. From there, we'll go to this story. This one will bring you, be telling you a little bit about this one, political demolition in Liberia, justice or revenge. This is specifically about the demolition of the CDC, Coalition for Democratic Change. That's the party of former President George Weah. Headquarters was granted yesterday, I think 2 nights ago, I believe. And it has been a big talk entire spark this debate in the country. So we want to add to that debate as well tonight. So our own way of looking at it is a political demolition in Liberia, justice or revenge. We'll be looking at it also. We want you also to join us and share your thought with us. In the meantime, what we're going to do, we will bring you what makes today or tomorrow going to be celebrated. Today is 24th of August. Because it's Sunday, it's not been nationally celebrated. It's not commemorated. It will be done tomorrow in Liberia. So we, as Liberians out here and on the borderline, want to give this special day and attention. So this is what, in our own way, we're going to carry a little bit of, we will be carrying a video about the special video. This probably may have seen this video on the YouTube. We got it from the YouTube. We'll be sharing with you, and you tell us what it may be a little longer. We'll be shut it down at some point. But share your thought with us. What you think? In the meantime, before we go to the video, I want to welcome our good old friend, Mr. Yankuba, Maurice Yankuba Dollar. Welcome, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nakamara. Just that I come late because I was in some important
It's all right. You're welcome. Just give a few minutes. We'll welcome you back to give a welcome remark, and we'll play the short video. And from there, we'll ask you, what you are not your police officer. What was your challenge when it's a national Flag Day in Liberia? But let's roll this video, and we'll come back to you later on. So welcome.
Thank you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Like always, I am your favorite Liberian boy, Fizzle. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Flags Day. Now, Flags Day is a national holiday in Liberia, and we are going to be talking about what Flags Day means to Liberians, how it started, the history of Flag Day, and how Flag Day is celebrated. So stay tuned, grab a popcorn or a snack, and get comfortable because we are about to go down history lane. So guys, what is Flag Day, or what is Flag Day in Liberia? National Flag Day is a cultural holiday in Liberia celebrated on August 24th. The holiday commemorates the adoption of the Liberian flag on this day in 1847. The flag design was approved during a convention where the founding fathers established the new republic, which is Liberia. If you don't know what the Liberian flag looked like, this is what the Liberian flag looked like. I'll put it up on the screen for you to see it. The Liberian flag display 11 alternating stripes of red and white with blue square and a star in the canton. The Liberian flag was made by 7 women, or 7 American Liberian women. American Liberians are basically free slaves from America that came to settle in Liberia, hence Americo Liberian. And the names of the 7 women that helped create the Liberian flags are Sarah Dripper, Mary Hunter, Rachel Johnson, Susanna Lewis, Matilda Newport, J.B. Rossworm, and Cornelia Tage. And I'm gonna put a picture on the screen so you can see, it's a very old picture, and every time they give the history of the creation of the Liberian flag, this picture is always being displayed. I don't know who painted this, but this is a very old picture. Even when I was a kid, I always used to see it. Now, how is Flag Day celebrated in Liberia or across Liberia? Each year, August 24th, the National Flag Day, which is one of the public holidays in Liberia, is celebrated with students moving majestically and showcasing their talent, making sure that they are recognized by the huge onlooking crowd. This is basically them marching, parading, and they are assisted by the Liberian AFL, which is the Armed Forces of Liberia. This is how we celebrate Flag Day in Liberia. Now, I have footage of this year's Flag Day because I was opportune to be on site. I had to wake up like 7 o'clock in the morning so I can't miss the band and, chase them around just for you guys. So let's take a look at the footage and then we can end the video.
Wow, Paul, that's a good job done by Liberian. I think we want a big thank you to him for whatever he did. It's a very, very good job. There's an aerial video, Paul, he did from that video. Let's talk about the good job this young man did before we, because those things I think we don't normally find them. He found a way to, let's bring in, if Mr. Dolly is ready, we'll bring him on. But it's a very good piece of work he did, Paul. I've not seen that. I mean, we're talking about celebrating tomorrow on the also national day, but I think the drill, the march has taken place already, Paul. That's
it's tomorrow because that's an old video. He was there. Okay. That was last year, so it's tomorrow. The parade going to take place.
All right. So I want a big give credit to the young man that did a good job, Paul.
That's right. The thing is, because the school system now, they have changed the time, so it's not like the way it used to be, because now school starts in September. So at this time, the kids are still on what? They're on a
break.
They're on a break.
Yeah.
So you may only find few schools taking part in the whole thing. But back then, because we started school in March and we finished school in December, so it was during our time in school, so everybody was kind of looking forward to that wonderful break for that day, that flag day. You know, remember, students, man, it's raining,
Okay.
and then you get a little bio bottle with you to keep you going. So something you always looking forward to something, yeah. And
I
that
was about
Right.
to, I was about to ask
Yeah,
whether
Mr.
they
Go
rain
on.
today.
It just rain?
I said I was just about to ask whether it did rain today in
Yeah,
Liberia.
we just want to hear from you as well. Your experience as a police officer. What was your challenge? I know you were like crack control and many other things when the
Uh,
flag day in Liberia. What was
yeah,
your challenge for you as a police officer at the
yeah.
time?
As a law enforcer, when we were in a special task force at that time, we had a special unit that was responsible to control the movement of the bartender. And beside that, we have some units that were participating in the drilling as well.
Yeah,
So,
police. The police division was there, Paul, as well,
yeah,
right?
yeah. We used to have a military. We used to have students and different kinds of uniform people to parade that day to jubilate and to show solidarity for the flag because it's a symbol of our country. So basically, these are the things. But the challenge we have at the time was how to control the crowd for any misbehaviors. So and that we used to have a special unit that responsible for that effect. Those that used to participate, they were there, and those that used to be there to look after the crowd also were there, and we used to spread up the intelligence in the midst of the people.
Okay. Mr. Dollar, we will go back to you. I'll take you. I want to give some kind of critical questions here to two of you here, and we'll all discuss it. The flag of Liberia. The young man just told us, I think we all know about it. The flag was designed by 7 women or 6 women, according to him. 6 women, right? Sorry. Yeah, okay. And if you listen to the names of those he mentioned, and we all know they has nothing to do with indigenous Liberia. And the question would be, before the coming of these people to the country, there were Liberians that were there and they were indigenous. Even if they're not educated to talk about the flag, they should be participating in the sewing or the drilling or whatever. They should have contributed to that flag. But now, many people will say, these things were imposed on us. They copied the American flag, brought into us, and they say that it's our Liberian flag. The significance is showing. And they turn around and tell us, we need to. I think one of the person in the Matilda Nipo, there was a day in Liberia called Matilda Nipo Day. That was also twisted to be a ladies' day or the day for lady. So, what would be your answer to the question of the flag day? The flag does not represent Liberians. I mean, there's no handprint or handwork in there, and then the indigenous Liberian handwork into that work. So, what would be if someone raised that question, what would you say?
You coming to me first, or
anyone can take on?
All right, let me come in. I don't see why people like to make issue all or nothing. Here is the situation. This country that we are talking about, Liberia, it was a unique country that anyone could recognize in the entire African continent as an independent state. Because Ethiopia was already under the colonial master of Italy. The Italian, they went and take over Ethiopia. We were there at the time that we became a republic. So we are the only one. That is one of the points. The point of the matter is, who do you really think those days, the ignorance that we have in our country at that time?
The question, I'll tell you. But you ask a question. I will ask the question. I want to support you so you can continue. The question is, they were the wives of chiefs, kings were there. They could invite them to be part on the table just to sit there. They were about the product. They don't need to be. That's the question. They were like they don't need to be educated. They could invite. There were chiefs. There were people that were running empires. They were like kingdoms. I mean, chiefs in Liberia, tribal chiefs.
Yeah, well, Mr. Kamara, you're Liberian people are the most difficult people on earth. You see, the point of the matter is, they,
somebody said to me, say, what Liberia should give go ahead. Liberia is a country, what should you give go ahead?
People are the most difficult people on earth. This is the situation here. Those people that came for to even looking at something to create governing system, they're the one that brought it in. The kingdom that you're talking about, where were they? They were nowhere to be found. King Peter, King Lord Peter, King Saboso Kamara, King Kabaya, King this, King that. Where were they?
Okay.
Where were they?
Paul, what do you
think? The people wanted to have a republic, and they had some volunteer, the women, material neighbors and things then, volunteer to come over this thing then, to print it out, to design it for the country. At least we should praise them for that effort. Instead of criticizing them, why you didn't bring Peter Brown, why you didn't bring Grove men from Kipam. Grove people were fighting the central government.
Okay, Mr. Doyle, thank you very much. I'll get Paul. We're gonna got other issues to discuss. Thank you. Paul, what do you think? The question is why is there other indigenous were not invited on the table to help?
And Jamal, that is the Liberian problem right there, because the people were not inclusive in the decision making. So when people are not included, what happened? This is where you get for 130 plus years, there was one group of people who decided the fate of the nation, because those people were peasants. They were not educated, but those very people too were making cloth at the time. So you see, we get a thing called the Loma cloth.
The dye clothes. Yeah, you're right.
The thing
handcraft, all the stuff. Yeah.
Handcraft. So they were peasants, but they had the idea to make cloth. Why you think they couldn't have been included? The chiefs were there. They were not absent. We want to form a country, but we want to have a symbol of the country. Get the knowledge of the chief. They were wise chiefs. But they were not included because they didn't come from slavery, because they could not read and write.
What do you think was the reason? Were they overlooked their intelligence or what?
They overlooked them. So what happened? They have come from slavery, and then they brought the thing. They became a slave master, because all they left, what they knew was we have come from slavery, so we now the new master in time. So we do what. So the thing they knew, that's what they copied the American flag. But if we wanted to look at it after, during the coup, when those changed the constitution, they should have also looked at our flag and say, okay, we can have a national debate on this. Should we continue with the American flag, or should we come up with a symbol of Liberian flag? But that was never brought into the issue, so that flag remained. So that's my input on it.
Thank you. And to add to what you're saying, after those years back, every county has their own flag in Liberia, and it shows what that county like. If you look at Cape Point, you got the mountains and other areas. If you look at Nimba, it has a bit of mountain and a forest, and other counties, Lifa and other counties. The counties in Liberia carry their own flag. That almost signify or show who the county is. So you think there should be a national debate on this flag? Or people will say, Paul, why we worry about a piece of cloth? Let's change our mindset. Forget about the piece of cloth. But don't you think you also have an impact, because that represents you out there? If you carry a flag, Liberian flag, you should be able to explain what it stands for. People, do you agree with people that say, don't waste your time on debating, like Mr. Dollar is saying, don't waste your time debating on these are petty issues, like travel issues, like it's not important.
Dying for child delivery.
Yeah, like you say, we need a better healthcare in the country. We need a good education. Forget about that piece of cloth. Do you agree with that?
No. You see, why up to today we don't have Maternal Nipple Day?
It was used to be.
There was exactly so.
It was 1st of December every year, right?
People, history Sunday, but this history is complete crap. So let's scrap it from there. It was a national debate. They have to remove it because it didn't make sense. So if you have a national debate, and one thing people keep talking about, unity in Liberia, we know that the American Liberians ruled Liberia for 130 years. They're I mean, it was after the coup, before we have proper what we call little democracy. But before, it was so say one, so say all. So now there was never a national debate to include everybody in the thing. It's for that coup. If we didn't have the junta up to now, we still have the American Liberian. We're not going to be included. So that national debate should have taken place. And until that happens, you can still keep the flair, but if you say unity, people can craft something, say, look, this is Africa, this is our identity. You can do it. I mean, I will give an example. You see, like when Thomas Sankara took over in Burkina Faso, it was called the Upper Volta, right? He had to change the name.
To Burkina Faso.
Yeah, he changed the name.
Which means the land of our father, Burkina Faso.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you have a national debate that will include everybody, they say, but as now, it still represents the slave master. That's why if you remember when President Boakai visited Donald Trump, people say, look at the flag. This is America in Africa. So we still honor that colonial, that slavery thing until we have that national debate. Then we can think about whether the flag should be the same or find something else.
Mr. Dollar, you want to say something?
Yeah, you see, fortunately, they are the one that really.
No, go straight to the point. Don't forget about Paul. Don't worry about Paul. Don't talk to Paul. Just tell you what your views are on the issue. Paul just give his view. You give your view.
Yeah,
that's what we want to do.
Basically, based on the flag issue here is my topic on the flag issue is simple and clear. The time this flag was introduced to the Liberian people, my belief that those that think on that to put it out was the educated people, was the one that have little sense of administration procedure and thing there. That's the reason why they put it there. And they went to work and continue to rule the country for some time. But I want to bring something to Paul's attention. He said the democracies came in, multi-party democracy business came in after the removal of two-way party. No. The time the one say so came in, one talk man became president. When Barclay was removed and placed in house arrest, that's the time the democracy that was in the country at that time was suspended. Topman became dictator, white-collar dictator, in the country for 27 years, ruling with iron hand. But before then, there was democracy. There was multi-party system.
So can you give us some of the party names? Let's know the parties at the time that contested. Let's for our audience.
Okay, I will go back to. I don't want to say something on the international something right now.
Just give for the names of the parties that.
That's why I'm telling you now. Give me chance, Mr. Sloppy. I'm going to visit my historical book and come out with it in the next topic. I will show you those that was the party leader of this thing then, because I don't want to make any statement where there will be contradicting from what I knew of from the book. So I'm going to revisit the book and get exact information and furnish you guys then in next week Tuesday, if you will allow me to come out with it. But I am telling you, Mr. Chiloply, there was a multi-party system in that country until Barclay was removed. But
okay, so Gemma, I don't think
how Topman became president. Topman run against Barclay
for 100 and plus years. There was one party system in Liberia called a two-way party. So if you say we have multi-party system within the two-way party, they had their internal election where Topman became president in a two-way party. But if you go back,
Who
it's time.
put back
Mr. Dolly. Okay, guys, thank you very much.
That's
There's
one
a
party
different.
system. So until
There's
you
an-
gave her the party, then we'll know.
Yeah, we will.
But that's
we
what
will
I'm saying.
okay, Mr. Dollar, we take your statement. You said you come back. What Paul said. Paul said there was not a party. A certain year, there were one party system until a certain year, the other parties started challenging the government, where they were considered as traitors and conspirators. I think there where you got people like the father of the late, the late Honorable Henry Family Senior, and other Liberians that were, charged for conspiracy and stuff like that. I think what was on a Todman stuff. There are a lot of stories. We're going to go back into that. I mean, we'll give you time to discuss the political issues. We'll give you a chance to explain those things in the future to us. I mean, we all know it's very simple. You don't have to go anywhere into a history book. It's on the Google. Just type in political parties in Liberia before 1980s, before the coup in Liberia. It will tell you how many political parties were there. It's just simple. No, you don't have to go to political history. This is very clear. The internet is there. You can all see it. But anyway, I will just thank you for your input. Mr. Dole, we will, the question is, this is a very good debate. Paul just raised the issue. Here, we look at the issue from the national point, because we're saying that Paul said that it was not a part of exclusivity. It was not in Liberia. One group of people managed to control the people. It's not like we hate them. You need to be factual here. They will run the country for Senate age for 1847 at 130 years before people of at least of kind of indigenous connection, like the Tubman, the Toba, start begin indigenous connection. They were not even considered to be a proper indigenous. So until Doe came in, so that's what we are talking about here. And before then, there was one system running. Now I'll tell you an example right now. It was just after the coup or after the war, civil war in Liberia, before Muslims were given chance to even offer prayers at programs. You know that. You can't attest to that. You are the law enforcement officer. You're not allowed.
I do agree.
Okay, that's what Paul is speaking of. Come in, sir. That's what Paul is saying. Exclusivity was not part of it. Now, Liberia need to see sense like you were there as a police officer. You are the oldest person on this platform right now. Those years back, we talk about exclusivity, where other Liberians involved, indigenous Liberians involved in the making of policies in Liberia those years back. No, that's what Paul is speaking about. Whether the 6 women or 7 women went to work and put the flag together, it's a good idea. Nobody's condemning that. But now, Paul is saying there should be a national debate to see, is there a piece of cloth represent us? That's the argument. So we will look into that now, something. And now Liberians seem to see that I don't care what we do, we are one way and other interconnected. Liberians are Liberian. I don't care what your background is. So I want to say a big thank you to this guy. So we'll take a quick break and come back. We'll discuss the demolition of CDC headquarters in Liberia. That's it.
We'll go into that. But before going further, let me just make a little correction about what you just said concerning about allowing a Muslim to pray publicly.
No, not that. No, I didn't say that. To allow to offer prayer at a national event, like if you go to.
Okay, that happened just quite recently.
No. I'm just saying, like if the government is having national event programs, the Muslim will offer prayer at the Christian.
That
never happened. After the Civil War. That's the Paul was just talking about. And the Muslims before the slaves came into Liberia, they were there before.
Exactly. After the Civil War.
No, before, the question is, there were Muslims in Liberia before the slaves came to Liberia.
Yes.
The free slaves came to Liberia, sorry. So why is that they were not allowing to get offer prayer? That's what Paul is saying. Exclusive were not part of it. So we'll discuss that in another time. So these are the questions. So think deep about that. Thank you very much for joining us on the YouTube, Facebook, the Bottom Liberia. Jamal, my name, Paul, the Lord Chilip is here for London. Mr. Yankuba Dollar, Morris Dollar is here. We're discussing Liberia National Flag Day and other issues regarding what's happening in Liberia tonight. So we'll be taking you straight to a quick break. We'll come back and tell you what the president said about the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Liberia. You may have seen it on the YouTube or wherever you've seen it. We have a different way of looking at it. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll tell you what we think as people on the bottom Liberia. Paul. This is where you go. Now, Welcome once again. This is about Liberia. Jamal, my name again, and we'll talk about political demolitions in Liberia, justice or revenge. Or yesterday or 2 days ago, I don't know what date, I can't remember anymore. We have the machine, the yellow machine, going out to rip off office of the headquarters, the well-known headquarters of the mighty, they call themselves the mighty CDC, Coalition for Democratic Change, the party that was in power for 6 years in Liberia under President George Weah. The party is no more, leadership is no more. We saw it was a big something yesterday. I mean, the government put out enforcement officers, the police were there in top gear to make sure that building is wrecked down. But take us through what happened. I think what I heard was the property, the owner of the property they were in court, they went to lower court, they went to the Supreme Court, there was a repeal that they wanted evicted, the CDC put on the appeal that they should reconsider the decision, they want to make sure things are okay with the property owner. And while they were in court, the governments, I don't know why, they make an appeal, but according to the story, what I've heard lately, the government, the Supreme Court denied the appeal and asked them to be evicted. So they got the government of Liberia to get involved. The police, the court sheriff was there with the police officers, including them with the IG, order that the building be not only being evicted, but the building being wrecked down. What do you think? And tell me what you think about it, Mr. Dollar. What you think? Then we'll go into what the President Joseph Boakai said about this issue. Paul, what is your take on this?
Jamal, this is a political demolition as is written over there. This is between two parties. The thing is, if you have an eviction letter from the court, they usually give you time, that whether it's 14 days, whether it's a month or 60 days if the case goes against you, they give you time to vacate the premises. That's the whole thing about it. The owner won the case. There was an appeal letter. Another judge agreed for the appeal. The police make an announcement that they were going to evict these people because they have getting authorization from the court. So the question here is, there are a lot of people that live in property in Liberia and they have gave eviction letter. The police don't act. Why now? So this become a political thing that you go for another party because you are in government. It's clear cut. I'm not a sedition, but common sense just tell you. So if they knew that, if the court said you need to move, it's not if they take appeal, they will say, well, we gave up to 2 weeks or 1 month, we'll be able to clear the premises and turn it over to the owner.
Mm-hmm.
But while the government was so hasty to go and start demolish the place, they have not done it with normal people that have issue, that people have land dispute, the government, they keep silent, they will say it's a civil matter. So this civil matter now became a political matter. So yes, the government is going after their rival. It's a political party issue, and it's how they call it, revenge between two rivals.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Mr. Dollar, what's your take on this?
Yeah, what Paul just said, I agree with some, but not all.
Okay. Don't forget about Paul. Just give your statement. That's all.
You see there.
No, just say. Don't say.
Okay. You having debate.
No,
so
let's do it this way, Mr. Dollar. We're not making debate. Yeah. You give your opinion.
We're not making debate, but some of the statement he made here, okay, I agree with 100%. Some of the statement he made, I did not agree with it. That's what I said.
Okay. Okay, I agree. Make your point. I don't want you to just mention Paul. Just this is my opinion. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I agree, referee. This is the situation here. The CDC was taking the pace.
What is called pace? That's an English way you're talking. Let people understand
what you were taking advantage. They were taking advantage over the property owner initially. And CDC knew that the decision was made by the court that they're not supposed to stay there. So my belief that what they're supposed to do honorably is to tell the people to go out to say, look here, whatever you people are saying, we agree with it. Law is the law, and we will lose the case. Give up so time to move. But they were taking appeal against the decision to prolong the situation. So that pays off the landlord and continue to push forward because the issue was in favor of him to make sure that action be taken as soon as possible. That is some of the reason why things were hasty like that. Government hand could be inside, but if you don't have physical evidence to substantiate the fact that government hand inside, then definitely you cannot accuse them publicly. We all know that they think that taking their situation, their decision by going to demolish the place, to evade the people from there in the kind of hasty manner, government hand inside. We know that. But what is the evidence?
Okay.
You
asked a question.
The second one is
when you ask question, we will answer that question.
No, let me get my last one. Then you can answer the question. The second one is this here. People are saying the police give instruction to the bulldozer to bring down the property. The landlord there's evidence showing beyond all reasonable that the landlord was sending there, telling them, since I own this property and I got it, I don't want this thing, then you bring it down. Even though circumstantial evidence can show that these people were over influencing the landlord to take certain revenge decision on CDC, but they were now on the forefront. They put the landlord on the forefront and hide behind it and keep opposing. That's how I see it to be. So CDC should have know fully well that they don't have no right to remain there. They should have take honorable decision to request for a time frame. But right, if you tell somebody to leave your property, you give them 2 weeks to prepare themselves and move. Okay. You give them 2 weeks. If you want for somebody to move from your property, you get them 3 week notice.
Okay, Mr. Dollar, thank you very much. This is something like I want to just bring to your attention. Mm-hmm. We know that this property issue, the CDC has been going on for a long time. It's not something just happened recently with the landlord, the person that behind it, and they're being caught out of court to leave the property. Are you aware of that?
Sorry?
Are you aware that this issue has been in court before, in and out of court, where the government, the CDC is fighting, CDC or watching, appealing against that. They want to evict the property, but they should get in time to move out so they can able to.
That was not the appeal. They were appeal against the deniers because they deny us
to buy the property.
To buy the property. That's one they were appealing against.
Okay then.
You were not appealing against to say give up ample time to move. No.
Okay. All right then. Granted. Well, tell me from your knowledge, as a Liberian who live almost 40, 50 years in Liberia, tell me your knowledge. What's your knowledge of a government going to move in where you have a civil case like this, government get involved to remove them, or even at some point use your own machine to break down property on behalf of a complaint?
That make it political.
Oh, I thought you said that we don't have substantial evidence on this. Your own question are you answering?
Second evidence. We have evidence, no physical evidence.
So what are you? No, it's not physical evidence. What's the physical evidence? Who was breaking his property? Was that government machine? Was that government machine that breaking the property?
No, it was a hired machine.
Who hired them?
The landlord. They also gave instruction.
All right, then. Mr. Dole.
Yeah.
So, what will you say in this time of peace? If we got national flag there today in Liberia, we're talking about using the national flag as a symbol of unity, and the president spoke about unity. And it's not only about simple, a common a piece of cloth. It's about identity of Liberia. We talk about we should live together and celebrate unity. Why would the government get involved, taking a fool from make sure the business break down and bringing where armed police officer to remove them and break the property? Why should government do that?
Government that right now in our country is now a unified government. There's evidence showing that it's a divided government. It's been only on good since it became government. They have been doing everything possible to the little peace we have in that country, the little unification we have in that country. George Weah was not doing good, but the idea is he managed to glue somebody in them little bit. But he himself was now a good leader. But those government that came in, those are there now. Since they arrived, they have been doing everything possible to trace to turn the country apart completely. So they are now a unified government.
What do you see this for the country?
Boakai is saying in terms of
we'll go back to the video, Mr. Dolly. I just want you to short summarize this. What do you see for Liberia where this situation happening like this, with a government taking, because I remember this, a Unity Party had issue with their headquarters. I think, Paul, if you can remind me, or that it was Amin Modad that have to bring them, took them into this house when they couldn't even pay their bills. We know that, and there was no government involved to remove them or break the property, and they couldn't pay their bills. They got removed. We'll go to the part of CDC why up to present they have not got their own property, even within government for 6 years. But let's look at the other side. We're looking at the other corner. So, Paul, I want you to roll the video you have when the response from the President Joseph Boakai towards the demolition of CDC headquarters.
Okay. And when President Boakai arrived in the country, because usually when he leaves the country, he absent that when bad things can happen. So when he come back, they generally ask him this question. So I'm going to roll it.
So, Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Komotang, which was carried out through a court order. How does your administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. Is that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law. And part of it is shown by how we behave, how we manage our own resources, how we cater to our people. That's why I spoke on peace, working with women, with youth, communities. And we believe through that the partners will see that we are serious. We met with the JICA. They are the implementing out of Japan, and we work with them. Yes, sir.
Wow. The law is the law, guys.
The law is the law. The president has just arrived.
We do expect the president the government of Liberia to put a police force that will be evicting people by force for property. Now, I think that should be enough division set up. Mr. Dollar, go on.
Yeah, let me come in. From the body language of this Mr. Joe Barker, the president of the Bureau of Liberia, tell us that he hand and fold and eye everything in the thing here.
Oh, so it's a physical evidence now.
From the body language. No, but listen to me. I let you say the hard truth. The way I see things that.
But it's not physical. Why would you say physical? Physical should be something you can feel. I said
the body language. So that this man ain't inside. One.
That's what? He
ain't inside, he fall inside, he are inside.
So what? What? Make it clear to our Liberians, to the people that are watching, your hand is in what?
Your hand in.
I want to hold you for your statement, though.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not going to deny it.
Okay, go on. Say it again, please. Why your head? Why the president has seen?
The man.
Who the man? Call the name and what is it?
Joe Barker, the president of the Bureau of Liberia, is supporting the way they denigrate CDC. He's supporting.
Okay, clear. Thank you. Go
based
on.
Based on the body language of him and the way he responded. And secondly, the attitude. He said the law is the law. When the Supreme Court, the lower court gave the decision, he supported it. But when the higher court make a decision, he denied it. Why say that? So
The law is the law.
what I can tell the Labron people, this man, there's nothing he ever held and living in peace. You always destroy him before you leave. But he leave with the Labron people to see whether they should keep him continuously or at the end of the day during the election they should kick him out and prosecute him for whatever damage it caused for the country.
Well, what's your reaction to that video? Then we'll talk about the CDC side of the story. Why they are not, what happened with CDC up to now? They have not been responsible to look after their own issues. Paul, what do you think? Mr. Dolly just said something about the president is involved in today's very statement. You wrote the video, you played that cue, the video, and does this signify the unity in the country? When we speak about today is the National Flag Day, we should be able to celebrate unity. Liberians should come together, and it's not about being a common enemy. We should political enemy is okay, but this is a way to as a political vendetta against CDC about the unity-led government. Is this true from where you see things?
The thing is, when the woman Boakai used the word, the law is the law, and this is the man who championed not to respect the law. So how come now he's saying the law is the law? So there's certain things that will happen, the law can take its course. And then when certain things happen, the law can be what?
The law.
Yeah, you can violate the law. So
I think it's our quorum.
This is a civil matter. You see, in a civil matter, usually the government will say, okay, the owner of the premises that agree that will evict people, they go and stand by just in case of anything. But as the police were able to, they were armed to their teeth. They were moving in building, removing things from the building. So if it's a civil matter, the owner brought the police in to sit down. This is to be, how they call it, the guardian, to just guardian. They will do the rest. But the police were involved. The day before, the police make a public announcement that they were going to remove them from that building because they have and that very day, CDC also obtained this stay order. They asked for, how they call it, appeal to give them time. But since the government does not respect any law, they decided to go ahead. Remember, the impasse a few months ago that the Supreme Court came out with a ruling, the Justice Minister rewrote the Supreme Court ruling, and the government decided to do business with the so-called majority bloc. But that time, the law was not respected. So when it comes to their opponent, the law is the law. So this is a political action that they took against CDC because they're in government. That we know our opponent is powerless, so we can use the government now to go after them. That's the law of this. The law is the law. It is where it is. The government went for CDC. And it's good for CDC, Jema. It's really good for them. You see, for 12 years, they were in opposition. These people were doing bad things. When they had the authority to go after people to do the right thing, they refused. They said,
they start doing the nasty thing.
We take SAR with the most rockish old lady because we want to protect her and her family. And Joseph Boakai was part of that rockish government. They refused to go after them. Then when they came into what they started doing, they started seeing rockish behavior that Ellen and Joseph Boakai introduced to Liberia. So now, Joseph Boakai come back to go after them, say you didn't teach us lesson, we will teach you a good lesson. So I agree with Joseph Boakai. When it comes to civil matter, the law is the law.
Paul, let me hold you there a little bit. You just said that what the Unity Party did not, I'm sorry, the CDC were in government, or when Why did not go after Unity Party leadership after when it took over after 12 years leadership? But you think the CDC had a moral right or the correct file to go after them when they themselves accused of corruption? If you see most of those guys that were in the CDC government, they're all multi-millionaires by now. After just 6 years in government, you see properties being erected everywhere by some members of people we know is visible everywhere in Monrovia, in Liberia, where CDC people that are running, in government and CDC have properties here and there, and we also know they were involved in other things. Can they come out, the guts? Do they have the gut to come over after early in government when they got all these things erected? Can they do that? You think
yes,
so?
They, when they came in 2018, they were not in government before. They came,
but they had the intention to steal, so they won't have gone over them. So what they did right.
That's what I'm saying. So at that time, where they have just come in to audit the early government for what they did, because they make noise for 12 years that early government was stealing. So when they had the opportunity from January 2018, they should have gone after the Joseph Boakai early government. Now they decided not to do it. And guess what? They decided to put their hand in the cookie jar, so they had no moral right, because the thing you accused these people for, you started doing it, so they could not do it. So early people now come back, say, well, since you're stupid enough, you didn't come after us, we will not go after you.
Okay. Wow. This brings to another question, Paul. They were in government for 6 years. CDC, Coalition for Democratic Change, mighty Coalition for Democratic Change, building is wrecked down. 6 years in power, 12 years opposition. Yeah. Why they couldn't have their own property built all the years? 6 years. One person from a deputy minister or assistant minister, even a deputy director general of an autonomous agency like on the CDC would have built a property, a headquarters of a CDC without even the one person putting a dime in it. Why they couldn't do that? And now they're crying now over somebody else's property. Consider the landlord asked them to leave the property. You know, this is not for you. Is this battle, illegal battle, has been going on for some time now? Why they couldn't have just leave the property, go to a temporary building like Unity Party did, because they couldn't pay their bills. We know that Unity Party was the opposition. They couldn't pay their bills. They left. They went to Bodar proper house to house them as a headquarters until they moved to a different property. Why CDC couldn't have done that, but looking for the last disgrace? And they had the money to do it, to build their own property. They got land. They could have bought land somewhere else. Why they didn't do that until the last day? Accusing the government of Boakai, Joseph Boakai of political witch hunt. You think it's a fair accusation?
Your point of information,
No, I want you to answer the question first before you give me a point of information. Is it a fair judgment? You could have their own property. They could have, instead of arguing, it was not yours. I don't want you in there anymore. I want to buy the property. I don't want to sell it to you. Okay, I'll sell it to you. I don't want to sell it to you. But in that process, why they couldn't have their own property, their own headquarters?
Yeah, because they were taking advantage.
On who?
Over the landlord.
Okay. Were they not paying rent?
No. They were not paying rent.
No.
Okay.
No, they were paying rent.
Listen to me now.
They were paying rent. That one you can't just argue. They have to show the evidence, because they were paying rent.
Yeah, listen.
Okay, no, he's an officer. You go check. You always talk about evidence.
Get our evidence. I'm saying this for boss.
Oh, go on, Chief. Go on, boss. Go on.
The people asked to, first of all, the man who win the case, they said that he was not the owner of the property. That was the first argument. So they were not paying no rent to him. You understand what I'm saying? The person that they assumed to be the owner of the property, that's the person they were dealing with, which is Akibobo now. You understand? Until when this man win the case against Akibobo now, they agree to pay the rent. While in that process, they say, in fact, we want to buy the property. The case, I think, 200,000 to the landlord. The landlord said,
what, the US dollars?
US dollars. They're not liberal money we're talking here. US dollars. You understand what I'm saying? So the landlord said, all the time that you take, you're not give me no money, you not pay against my rent, I'm taking that first. You understand? Before we talk about buying the property. So when he came over the property, the merchant he might say, in fact, I'm not selling the property to you. I want my property back.
Okay, Mr. Dollar, how will it make sense to you? $200,000 but could put a decent property up for CDC. Why would they pay that to them? A very decent building.
But to show to you that they were so arrogant and naive. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, let me come in here, Jamal. Pardon, you have to be factual. There is of dispute, property dispute between family members. You said they were not paying rent, but they were paying rent to Archibald. So there's listen now. When two people say they own a property and you pay rent to one person that you took the property from, they didn't take it from this guy that brought it, that took them to court. They took the property from somebody else before they moved in. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
The person they took the property from, they were paying this person rent before this other person came say, I am the legitimate owner of this property. That's where the case went to court. So the other brother were getting a rent. So CDC were paying their rent. That gave them, be fair on them. They were paying their rent. They were not in any debt like Unity Party that refused to pay her rent. CDC were paying her rent. When the case went to court, that's where they say, okay, we want to buy the property. The guy said no. That's why the 200 you talk about, 200 some of thousand, came in to play. That say you're paying Archibald, you're not paying me. You're giving this money. I want you because the guy won his brother. He won the case. That's why the eviction came. That you'll leave the premises. So they were paying rent. Yeah. So you can't say they were not. You can't say they were not paying rent.
But what I understand from Paul to add to Mr. Dollar, you're coming to add to what you're saying. The information you're getting, it has to do with the Bernard family. So on Mr. Bernard, who represented by one Dempster. Vanny Dempster was the one. Ibrahim Vanny Dempster was a lawyer representing one Mr. Bernard in court because it came to be that she's, I think, according to the story, was that Mr. Inter-estate owner of Mr. Bernard. That could be a relative or kind of married to the Archie Bernard family. Yes. Something has to do with, I don't know the connection, but the Bernard family should be having right to that property. So the Mr. Bernard who had the property was represented by one Vanny Dempster, Ibrahim Vanny Dempster in court. So what Paul's saying seems to give some, point to the argument that they didn't want to sell the property if they were paying their bills. They were paying their bills, but they didn't want to rent the property. How would they not be paying their bill to stay in property? Go on.
Point of information. In the first place, that the landlord we're talking about now, who won the case, offered the CDC buyers. He told them that I was selling the property. You understand? The CDC, when they argue among themselves, the Senate Bureau of CDC said, okay, I want to buy the property, but I want to buy it in the name of my son.
Where is the information coming from? Where is the information coming from? Where you got the information from? Okay.
Inside story.
His son. Okay.
Yeah. He want to buy the property in the name of his son. Then the party said, no, if you buying the team as a CDC property, it should be in CDC name. That's why he didn't come out with the money. Then they start to be dealing with them in that kind of, because Archibald Bona was giving them the leverage that he's the owner and he was giving them cheap option. So when everything come to a conclusion, they may say, okay, I agree to sell it. Then they gave him that money. When they gave him that money, it's okay. The time that you will spend over paying my rent and things there, you drove me from here and there. They even drove the man out of the country. The man have to go in exile to Ghana.
Who?
The man who just won the case.
But Mr. Dollar, this case is good different. I'll tell you what's happening here. What you're saying that was just released by the Front Page African newspaper. The document that came from the court, I'll read it from the newspaper. They just said, I don't know where you got that story from. They are saying, let me read that little part. They said, in the ruling, the court found that while Archibald Bernard's mother had a right to certain other property, the right to purchase the CDC headquarters land rested with his widow, at the time of death. Martha Stopperfield Bernard, that's the Mr. Bernard who had the property, who later completed the purchase. The verdict effectively placed the property under the control of the interstate estate of Mr. Bernard. Represented by the administrator Ibrahima Vani Demsa. Before the judgment, the estate legal representative Johnny Momo, associate wrote to CDC acting chairman Yanga Kowo on August 8th, formally stating the purchase price and the condition. You hear that? The letter confirmed, this from the court, the Supreme Court letter they just released. The letter confirmed that the estate was granting the CDC the first right of refusal in recognition of its current occupation of the property, but stressed that the asking 4.2 million payable in cash. The firm also disclosed that there are two other interested buyers, both church institutions, one of which both church institution, one of which already has signed agreement to acquire the land for 2.5 million. Should the CDC decline the offer? You see what they're talking about? So I don't know why you're coming with the story. Somebody chasing. This is the actual letter from the court. The story the front page Africa gathered, put together, and reported this in news I'm quoting. So the offer was given to CDC to pay 4.2 million. Well, Paul Wapo is saying CDC is saying that it's too high for the property, and now two churches want the property to buy the land. So they said the CDC refused to take, they will go for 2.5 million. They will buy the land and build their own property. So I don't know what the argument. Probably your story coming for you to fact check that story, Mr. Dolly. So anyway, guys, we got 9 more minutes. We have gone so far. We're almost going to be 2 hours here. And thanks for your contribution. We want to take a quick break, and we want you to give your summary of today, National Flag Day, the issue of the CDC headquarters demolition, and what do you think the flag of Liberia means for you and me? Is it a celebration of unity, or is something like it's lacking in inclusivity in Liberia? We'll take a quick break, come back. I'll ask my colleague to give their final thought before we take leave. We want to say a big thank you for whoever you joined us. Don't leave us. We got a quick musical break for Liberia, then we'll come back to you.
One day, everybody supposed to know my name. One day, I will be the one to pay to see. But Balatana, don't waste my time calling me on by the money just to keep me on the line. Like a made you say money for him back for grind. Oh God, nobody won't be wasting time. I can let it know you. Jack can tell me to the power thing I owe. Carry my story on your head and I'm told. Hey man, I say don't get fed. I know that you can have enough food on my everywhere. No you, Jack can tell me to the power thing I owe. Carry my story on your head and I'm told. Hey man, I say don't get fed. I know that you can have enough food on my everywhere. I work for it. All the good things here today. I work for it. Lele car driving here today. I work for it. Travel overseas, mommy say everywhere. I say everywhere. But why you getting back? I work for it. All the good things here today. I work for it. Lele car driving here today. I work for it. Travel overseas, mommy say everywhere. I say everywhere. But why you getting back?
Because this success, they won't give me success. Sacle point and show me roll it here. No more bakuto, we won't talk and do. MVP, let me run away. Aru, I get a kong and get and kill it with it. I get enjoy, we are telling it and thinking on it. Like a lesson they was telling. Ooh, yeah, I can make them think. My one person, I can make them breathe. They wanted my picture, man, I can say she's. They telling me I'm proud. I just look at it and laugh.
I didn't let it know you. Jack can tell me to the power thing I owe.
Once again, thank you very much for joining us. Wherever you joining us from.
Wow. I love this music.
That's Liberia now. Let me bring that this thing down. Like, you know one thing about I'll give you $1. Let me remove this start from here. I will tell you what Liberians are doing. You know, the good thing about this, we always celebrate our boys. They are doing very well. They are doing really, really good. Liberians are really doing good. In terms of music, the producers, the sponsors, I mean, credit to the heart of Dove. You know, great job, great things. There are better ones out there. We have not even played them. We have not featured them yet. We'll find time to be a day to take a feature Liberian
Yeah,
music.
but you always say, you and Paul, you say, oh, we'll send you some music. We'll say, you don't send me nothing.
Yeah, we'll send you, don't worry.
You
After the show,
I keep
remind
to hang on the airport celebrate tonight.
Okay, we'll do that after the show. Don't bring him down. You know, he's our RC, so don't bring him down tonight. Leave him for now. That's the one. A big thank you to who joined us from the bottom line on the Facebook, on the YouTube as well. And those who did not have the chance to join us too, I know you play this video. When you watch this video, we want you to comment. It's always going to go on. It's there on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. We also want you to describe, sign, and subscribe to the show. We also want to know how we doing here, and if you're not, what do you think we should be discussing basically about Liberia, also about Liberians in the diaspora. It's all about how we get ourselves developed. You know, we sit here, take hours to discuss issues that it should be important to you and myself. It's not we just want to talk. So we also want to hear from you. And because of today is a national holiday, we came out to do a special edition, the National Flag Day for Liberia. And we discussed it previously. What is it for you as a National Flag Day for Liberia? But while we have a couple less than 5 minutes to go, I will take a round and ask my colleague. I'll go to Mr. Dollar, Maurice Yankuba Dollar, and to ask him what do you think today was for him as a National Flag Day? And what is it like? He said something like peace to remember, unity. And what is it? Just give your thought, and I'll go to Paul too. We can wrap up today and say big thank you.
This is my honest opinions in this thing. I hope it's not an opinion of bottom line. It's my personal opinion. What I do know, Flag Day is very, very important day for our country, for our people, for all Liberians. Should be happy and celebrate the Flag Day because it represents the symbol of our country. In terms of unification, I think that is the best day in our country where the national leaders should advocate for unifications in the midst of the community, the inhabitants of the country. But that is not the case with the present government we have on hand now. He being so divisive, and he being so one of the lawless president that Liberia produced, because he gave credence to anything that in favor of him that he wished to see it happening in favor. That's what he gave credence to, which is completely wrong. When you are a president of a nation, you should lay down like a twin mother. Should not be partial in making decisions, but not the case of our president. Our president is someone who doesn't forgive people. He keeps grudge too much, and that is not good in a leadership, in a national leadership. That's why I observe on him, in administration. He came in because those that offended him directly or indirectly, he trying to pay their own him because that's the only strength he have right now as a president of a nation to deal with the people. It's just that the blessing thing that we have in that country in that country today is the social media is he make the world of global village where anything happen, international community everywhere will know immediately. That's the only thing that blessing our opposition then in that country. Otherwise, if it are those military junta then time where the medias were very, very limited to the government, but now some of the opposition have already perished. So that's why I know of this leadership that we have. But I hope somebody will come to change the narratives of the present administration.
Thank you. Paul.
I don't like the way they're running our country, to be honest. That's my first thought. It's not a bottom line.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Paul. What do you give us a summary of what you think, and What is a national flag day for you, and what is it like? Just crop everything in with CDC health with Demolition and being a Liberian, what you feel today, sitting here talking about unity, and we have issues of these things happening in the country.
Right. Thank you, Jamal, and thanks to our audience. The thing with the National Flag Day is something that I think in the old days they used that to for us to be nationalists. I mean, that's we used to play allegiance to the flag and all that back in the day. So when a flag is going up, it's coming down wherever we are, we stand and play allegiance to that flag. But I think because of the civil war, I've not seen that in Liberia where people respect the flag like the way it used to be respected. Yeah, that was one of the things that they were so proud to see that flag. Remember, even when Lone Star is playing, they have the Lone Star Forever, that song, apart from the national anthem. That is the symbol of that flag. So, I mean, when it's on, people see that, yes. So it's something that we all celebrate. And in terms of, it's actually unified the whole country when that time comes. But with the set of leaders that we had in recent time, for some reason, because they are so corrupt, so they really don't focus on what will really unify the whole country. And with the incident with CDC, they knew that when it was Flag Day was due up, and they decided to take the civil matter into their hand, and then the government is saying the law is the law. So going forward now, civil matter they should take it seriously. They should not do it because it's a political party. They should go all across and react on issue when the court gave a ruling. They shouldn't sit back and say it's a civil matter. So and this is highly political. And with the CDC, I think it's good for them. They had the opportunity to build their own premises or buy the place to have a party headquarters. But relying on Archie Bonan, who became strong supporter of Weah and also became the security advisor to Weah, decided that they thought they were going to be in government for 24 years, so they didn't take action to actually give. If you look at Archie Bonan, did them a favor, gave them a big place for that number for many years before the owner came out to this property. I own it. So they were there from 2005. Think about it. That many years. They still don't enough. So it's about time that they move. But I think the government just decided to be very political on it. And with the issue in the West, the Ukrainian and Russian war is not going to end because what the demands the Russians are putting power that they want the Ukrainian, I mean Russian language to be restored back into Ukraine, which I know the Ukrainian will not do. They're going to take their land, and the coalition of the waiting now waiting to accept that. They keep pushing Zelensky, so there will be no end to that war until the Russians take what they want to take. So on that note, I think it was a good show, and happy pleasure to you guys. Tomorrow is
Thank
the big celebration.
Yeah, we on that note. So they want to say something?
Yeah. I just want to give to support for.
No, Mr. Dog, before I summarize, you say what you want to say. Want to close in now? Is that
Yeah,
you want to say
I
something
want to
different?
close in. I'm not,
No, we already okay. Go on.
Yeah, just to show that how people will show allegiance to the flag of our country. When we were small, every single house in our village and towns in the country used to hang the flag on their houses to the door of their house. You understand? During Flag Day, so to show sympathies, I mean, unity for among everybody. Those days, everybody was responsible to buy a single flag. It was a money making something at that time, way back when it was small, to hang it on your house to show that today is a flag day. But it's not happening. When a junta took over, when a military took over, they kicked off somebody thing there, you know. So,
anyway,
thank you very much, Mr. Kamara, for allowing me to voice that thing. Or you were already in my check here. I wanted to bring it up.
Okay, I want to say a big thank you to whoever we joined us.
We'll talk fun.
Okay.
We'll make some fun.
Right.
We'll bring some funny story on F.
All right. I want to say a big thank you to whoever joined us from. I know people joining us from our YouTube, Facebook, and other network. You too. Thank you very much, and also those who may join us from the Jala TV Liberia. We will leave you with Liberia's Rising from Kevin Adams. Or before then, let's say something like what makes today a national day. Before those days, Paul just said we should pledge allegiance to the federal Liberia. I don't know if you still remember it. We say I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the Republic of Liberia, which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So on that note, I say a big thank you for you and for watching National Flag Day. Happy 24th. We want to leave you with our sister Kevin Adams, Liberia's Rising.